So I got Botox because I have chronic migraines and it's supposed to help with migraines, but it turned out a little uneven and now look. What did you say? Hey, sweet thing.
It crosses the blood-brain barrier directly into the cerebellum.
Now, anytime I've ever thought of Botox, I immediately go the route of anti-wrinkle, anti-aging, the whole shebang. I never for a second thought that Botox could be used for something else. And in this case, it is TMJ as well as headaches, migraines. I'm sure there's other things that I'm missing, but I have done some research and I figured that there's more to Botox than what meets the injection and skin, what meets the face, what meets the eyes, what meets the wrinkles. Anyway, that was horrible. Full disclaimer though, as always, I am not a doctor. I am definitely not a neurologist. I am definitely not in the medical field. So if you are interested for any reason to get this procedure done, please make sure that you go to a licensed medical professional that will answer all your questions and do the research. Go to them for the consultation. Make sure you are a great candidate for the procedure, all right? Do not take my words and run with them. Take everything I tell you as well as the videos we're going to be watching with a grain of salt because sometimes it may not apply to you. Capiche? Let's move on. Now, for me, learning that Botox could be used for something other than anti-wrinkles, I had to figure out what exactly Botox is. Now, it is a toxin, specifically this type of toxin, which is literally a neurotoxin, a poison made by bacteria. It's kind of scary to think of when I say it that way, but in large amounts, this poison can quite literally paralyze you, but in small dosages that are given by a nurse injector, neurologist, somebody that is professional, it shouldn't paralyze you, okay? It should just temporarily paralyze specific areas of your muscles that were targeted in the first place. So like I said, when it comes to Botox, it freezes up partially your facial muscles. It relaxes them, causing you to have no wrinkles. But in other cases, if you are a person who suffers from chronic migraines, so I'm talking like 15 migraines a month or more, it supposedly helps by blocking the pain in your brain. The thought of that alone, though, I don't know if I like that or weirded out by that or fascinated by that. Doctors figured out that if you inject Botox into certain areas like your forehead, your temple, your neck, it can stop some sort of the nerve signals that trigger migraine pain. It's supposed to turn off the pathways to the brain, which helps reduce how often you get migraines. It's usually done every 12 weeks, and some people swear it's life-changing. Some people swear it's the worst mistake of their lives. And if you've ever been here long enough, as in my videos, then you know there is always a catch. But before we get into the catch of Botox injections, let's watch this one video of a guy explaining it way better than I could have. And take note, he is talking about the cosmetic procedure when it comes to Botox, but it's the same Botox that's used for migraines, TMJ, so let's get into it.
Ladies, stop using Botox. Botox is a neurotoxin produced by the bacteria Clostridium botulinum. It is also the same toxin that creates life-threatening food poisoning, and it is known to cause adverse side effects with brain cognition and mobility. It crosses the blood-brain barrier directly into the cerebellum. So ladies, you are beautiful with your wrinkles. Accept your body and avoid this toxin at all times.
Now, first of all, Botox isn't just done by ladies. The majority is ladies, but men get Botox too, but they don't come out here most of the time and talk about it. Now, as I mentioned in most of my videos, if it's not in a comment section, it's in a pinned comment or just in the video alone, I am all for non-cosmetic procedures. I am not for cosmetic procedures, and a lot of people misinterpret that. I understand why people get Botox and other cosmetic surgeries. It is just not for me. However, it is fascinating. The science behind all this Botox, though, with the food poisoning, this one isn't spoken much about because I think that is highly dangerous, as is any other cosmetic procedure. But this one in particular, it paralyzes your face, obviously in small dosages, like I said. So don't take his advice and run with it, okay? Large amounts of this can be deadly. Small amounts of this, if you're allergic, can be deadly too. So tread lightly. So this was really trippy when I read about it, but Botox, when injected, does not guarantee that it will not spread to some areas that you weren't expecting. So it goes beyond the injection site and spreads to places that can cause some pretty serious problems. For example, if you get Botox near your forehead and it spreads to the muscles around your eyes, you can get something that's called ptosis. Some people call it ptosis, which is just a fancy word of saying that your eyelids start drooping. Now, don't worry, it goes away, but when it hits you, your mental health could be at stake, but that's not all. It can affect your vision, and it is super annoying to deal with. Here's a video right here of a lady that is going through this. What's scarier is that's just the beginning. Botox can also spread to muscles that control things such as swallowing or breathing. If it gets into your throat, your chest, those muscles can pretty much be paralyzed and you'll have difficulty speaking, swallowing, or even breathing. Do with that information what you want to do, I guess. This stuff could potentially mess with the muscles that keep you breathing. Now, I will be honest and say it is rare, but it's still a risk. So aside from ptosis and muscle weakness, there's a chance of difficulty moving certain parts of your face, weakness in your arms, legs, and in some cases, a slurred speech. So you're gonna sound like somebody that's drunk, but you won't be drunk. Or will you? And if you feel like you're one of those unlucky people who say, a lot of people get Botox, but I just know if I start getting Botox, something wrong is gonna happen. Well, that something is a full-on allergic reaction to Botox. Yeah, you can be allergic, and that can involve itching, having a rash, difficulty breathing, swallowing, speaking, which is just a medical emergency. So call a 911. Now, Botox does help some people with migraines, especially if nothing is working, but it's definitely a decision you should not make lightly. It's usually recommended for people who have really frequent migraines, like I said, chronic migraines, and haven't had success with other treatments. So I would look into a lot of treatments before I ever consider Botox if I suffer with chronic migraines. But if you have certain muscles or nerve conditions, or if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, then I hope we both know that Botox is definitely not for you. Also, if you are somebody that is sensitive to medication or have had reactions to injections, before you even think twice, this isn't a try and see how it will do. It will not work out in your favor, and there are great risks involved. Now, I have done my yapping for the day. Let's get into some videos. Now, before we get into the videos, let me be clear. These videos are going to involve Botox gone wrong, as in the regular Botox that we know of. And they're also going to have migraine Botox and ptosis Botox. That's about most of the things that I can remember. So let's just get into it.
Yeah, so I actually did something very dumb.
Oh, gosh.
So my birthday's coming up. You know, I did some birthday maintenance, which includes like hair, nails, lashes, eyebrows, and I added Botox to my list. Now, I know I don't need it. I know I don't need it. I don't know why I got it. I just be doing stuff. Like, I don't know. So the problem is...
Uh-oh.
I looked on TikTok, right? And this is why you can't go off what you see on TikTok. And I looked up, what are the best places to get Botox?
Uh-oh.
Like, you know, each area of the face, what will they do? You know, this, that, and the third. In the video, they was just dotting off, like, different places and, like, showing, like, the effect of it, right? So, I'm like, okay, cool. I decided to get Botox in my eyebrows, to lift up my eyebrows. And I also got it right here in my chin area. Now, this was because sometimes when I just be chilling, I have resting face, like, bad.
Same.
So, I'm like, well, what if I put it here to bring up my face and make it look like I'm happy? So, the problem is I can't smile right. My bottom lip is like it's stiff. It's so stiff. My smile looks crazy. And Botox doesn't kick in right then and there when you leave. It's one of those things that kicks in over a matter of days. And as the days go by, my bottom lip gets tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter, to the point where I can't move my lip. Like, I don't know if you could tell, I can't move my lip. This how I know that I can't move my lip, because I'm a bottom tooth talker. Like, you know, like I talk with my bottom teeth. I haven't seen my bottom teeth this whole time I've been talking. So you gotta know my smile looks crazy. And I have such a pretty smile. I don't know why I did this. I'm not tripping for real, because Botox is not permanent. But why would I do that before my birthday? Why would I try anything on my face before my birthday? Before I go out of town? Before I take these pictures? But I could hit it real cute. You know. I could hit that real cute. But y'all see what I mean? It looked like it hurt. Like,
Not really.
my chin looks 12 feet long. Because it's just so up in my face. I'm so irritated.
If you've been here long enough, then you know doing something last minute, something you're not used to doing, then you probably shouldn't do it, or find an alternative that's easier. Now, she said she knew she shouldn't have got Botox. She knew better than to get it. She looks like she never needed it to begin with. So I'm not going to beat her up as much as she's already beat with the Botox that she got beneath her lips. I thought she said on her lips. Can people get Botox on their lips? And if they get Botox on their lips, wouldn't that just make them get droopy lips? I'm sure there's probably somebody out there with Botox lips, but the idea of that is just crazy to me. Fun fact though, well, I don't think it's a fact because I haven't fact checked it, but if you talk and your bottom teeth show, you have an RBF, or people say you're not as smiley. I don't know how I feel about that, because I do smile and I talk with my bottom teeth. But people say if you talk with your top teeth, oh, that's what it is. If you talk with your top teeth, you smile as you talk. And if you talk with your bottom teeth, you're not smiling as you talk. Some of y'all smile when y'all talk. I mean, depends on the conversation, but for the most part, there's people out there that smile when they talk. How do you smile? I'm sorry. I am getting out of track, but let's get back to watching more videos.
And the Botox made my neck weaker and worse. And it might be.
Unfortunately, this is something I see honestly every day.
Every
Unfortunately, we
day?
don't have a lot of studies on this, but there was a case study done. It involved only 7 people, so it's really, really small. But all 7 patients after the injections had more severe neck pain and headaches. And I've probably seen at least 20, maybe more, EDS patients who have gotten Botox and have been in more pain because of it. And I think that any doctor that does Botox really needs to know about this, because the patients are going thinking they're going to get better and they end up a lot worse. Hopefully it will be widespread knowledge very soon. Hopefully they'll do a systematic review on it. But as of right now, we need to advocate about this because it's not coming across. So yeah, be careful when you're thinking about getting Botox in your neck, specifically if you have EDS.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think EDS is when you have overly flexible joints. I'm sure there's more to it than just that. Feel free to correct me in the comments down below, because I'm learning just as much as you guys are learning. I will say, if you're getting Botox for migraines, chronic migraines, fortunately, I've never experienced chronic pain. However, I've had severe pain, and I'm not talking about cramps or being in your cycle. But from the pain that I experienced, I can only imagine what constantly, continuously having that can feel like. And at the end of the day, I can see somebody feeling extremely fatigued, exhausted, just done. Mentally, their state is gone. At the same time, if you get Botox on your neck area, because they target the neck area over here, my fear, knowing that Botox spreads and it is a toxin, toxic for your body, obviously, but in small dosages, it's fine, whatever. If it spreads to your spine, I feel like that's all I should say. What happens? You can get paralyzed to some degree. You can feel discomfort to some degree. I'm just saying, this is more dangerous than what a lot of people are telling y'all. And find a doctor that is 100%, maybe 95% transparent and somebody that is passionate and loves their job, and that will tell you exactly how toxic this is. And if you want to proceed with the procedure, then that's fine. But at least know the risks that you're taking by getting this done, even if you have chronic pain, because I may not understand chronic pain, but I can tell you enough to know that if you go the route of Botox and it fails, you will be in much more complications, much more side effects beyond just a chronic migraine. So you will suffer, let's say, with difficulty breathing and a migraine, difficulty swallowing and a migraine, slurred speech and a migraine, chronic migraine. So like I said before, though, take everything I say with a grain of salt, do your own research. But at the end of the day, I would not recommend this at all.
So I fear I have messed up. I've talked about this on here before, but basically this eye was twitching for a month and a half and it was driving me insane. So I read online that you can get Botox to stop eyelid twitches. And I did that and the twitch stopped, but my injector did not tell me about the other effects. And I'm sure, as you can maybe see, this eyelid does not fully shut now when I'm blinking unless I go out of my way to shut it. I got 5 units in my upper lash line on this eye 6 days ago now, so it hasn't even been a full week, and I'm honestly terrified that it's gonna get even more intense. And I literally am trying not to cry right now because it's so uncomfortable. Luckily, I know it doesn't look too crazy if I'm not blinking, and I know Botox wears off, so I know this will wear off. But if you guys have any tips to get this to wear off faster, or any eye drops or anything, it would be greatly appreciated. I literally, guys, I can't even go on dates. I had some dates lined up and I feel like I can't go because I am so insecure now. So this is your sign to not get Botox in your eyelid.
If you're constantly having neck pain and upper shoulder pain, Botox can be a big game changer for you. And why nobody ever offered it to you, yo no sé. But I'm a board certified dermatologist, and Botox in your trapezius muscle, aka Traptox, is one of the best treatments out there, especially if you're constantly holding your tension in your shoulders and the base of your neck. Why? Because of this muscle. When you inject this portion up here, you can help relieve a lot of tension, which can help in cases like migraines. By injecting Botox or any other neuromodulator in your forehead, your temporal area of your scalp, the base of your scalp, as well as the upper portion of your neck and the trapezius muscle, you can relieve tension. It also comes in super handy in cervical dystonia. When the muscle right here cramps up and all of a sudden you become hunched to one side, or if you're unable to turn to one side, but you can turn to the other side, Botox in your traps can release that tension. And for all the naysayers who are like, this shit's way too expensive, let me tell you something. By getting Botox once, it will last you on average anywhere from 4 to 6 months. The beauty in that is that you do not need to be getting recurring PT or even massages that are going to only have a short shelf life and beneficial effect for your neck. The other beauty with it is that Botox inherently blocks muscle contraction. So now, for an extended period of time, you will have a relaxed muscle, breaking that spasmic, episodic events that can re-trigger spasms in the base of your neck and worsen your back pain and neck pain in the long run.
So did y'all know that you can get ptosis, which is eyelid drooping, from Botox, even if it's done by a neurologist?
Nope.
I didn't, but now I sure do.
I want to give a quick disclaimer because I'm seeing a lot of people saying they want to do this for headache and migraine prevention. Masseter muscle Botox is not a traditional placement for headache and migraine prevention. This is traditional Botox placement for headache and migraine prevention. A total of 155 units are usually injected into all of these areas for headache and migraine prevention, while a total of about 25 to 30 units is injected on each side of your masseter muscle. And this Botox placement is usually used to treat temporomandibular joint disorder problems. That's usually when your insurance will cover Botox to the masseter muscle. Your insurance will usually cover Botox in all of these areas for headache and migraine prevention. In fact, for those of us who are chronic headache and migraine sufferers, masseter Botox may actually exacerbate your headaches because you're using accessory muscles in the face to make up for the giant masseter muscle, because you're killing this muscle, you're atrophying your masseter muscle. That's why my face shrunk so much, because the muscle is atrophied. One of the accessory muscles that's being used is this muscle here in your temple. So if you are clenching uncontrollably and you're really a crazy clencher, sometimes this muscle can be overworked and you can actually get more intense or more frequent headaches, and especially I know tension headaches are here. This getting masseter Botox may exacerbate your tension headaches, and you may actually have to go back and get extra Botox injected into your temples in order to atrophy this muscle after you've atrophied this muscle, because this muscle may be overcompensating for the fact that you're killing your masseter muscle. And people are asking me, do I go to a neurologist for this? Do I consult with a dentist for this? No, I go to an aesthetic nurse injector at a plastic surgeon's office. I get Botox for wrinkles in my forehead, and then I paid for her to inject Botox into my masseter muscle because she said that she would recommend it for me, and I believed her because I trust her. But she also did warn me, you may need to come back and get Botox in your temples if you suffer from headaches, because this may make your headaches worse. So I don't want any of you to think that this works for headache prevention 100% of the time, and you know it's foolproof, because it's not. I just clench my jaw so hard that it hurts my head sometimes, and I wanted to see if this would help, and it did help me be more mindful of clenching. But just be aware that this is not traditional placement for headache prevention. This is. And if you want this covered by your insurance, you need to talk to a neurologist. If you want this covered by your insurance, you need to talk to your primary care doctor or your dentist about temporomandibular joint disorder issues that you may be having. And just an FYI, your insurance may not approve Botox treatment for either of these conditions out the gate. You may need to prove to them that other cheaper traditional treatments did not work before you graduate to doing something like Botox.
Yeah, I think she said it perfectly. And to the other lady who went to a neurologist and she had ptosis, like I said, it could happen with anybody, but at least you're going to a neurologist who could probably recommend lesser dosages or tell you, hey, this may not be the injection for you. I don't know. Something, okay, is what I'm trying to say. All I'm trying to say is don't go to a basement Botox injector, and not to be confused with a nurse injector, a licensed, qualified nurse injector. Now, I used to suffer with clenching my jaw to the point where I had to put on a brace, so I stopped. But I know there's people who just can't help it. Mine was stress induced because stress can kill you. But this was like 2-3 years ago is when I was suffering from that, and I did other methods and they worked, and I've stopped clenching my jaw too hard to the point where it never triggered a headache, but my gums were throbbing at the end of the day, early morning, afternoon, all day. Anyway, but all in all, what may work for one person definitely does not work for the next person. I will not be that person to say, don't get it or get it. I will be the person who says, if you really need it, look into it and see professionals.
Okay, I got botched, and because I'm a certified yapper girl, we're gonna have a story time. So this was in January, and I'm back to normal now. It's the only reason I'm talking about it. But it was traumatic, okay? I think I literally cried every day for 6 months. Yeah. It sounds so stupid, but I'm gonna show y'all because you're gonna understand. So the backstory is I was prescribed Botox through my insurance company because I have really bad migraines. And they suggested that I inject my masseter muscle because I had a lot of tension from grinding my teeth, TMJ, that kind of thing. And so I know a lot of girls do masseter Botox for facial slimming, and I was excited to have that benefit of it. But this is your warning to maybe reconsider. So apparently your rosarius muscle and your masseter muscle basically overlap. The rosarius muscle is what pulls your smile so that you can smile. And then when you don't have that, you have no movement. You're basically like paralyzed, which is what happened to me. So it was awful. I had absolutely no cheek definition because you don't realize, like, when you use your mouth and certain movements and stuff, it's like building the strength of that muscle. So like that's why you have cheekbones. That's why you have a strong jawline. Like, yeah, I wasn't getting any of that. So I had lost all the volume in my face. I had new smile lines. So I had like 4 smile lines total. 2 on the side, 2 on the side. It was hideous. Hideous. And the corners of my mouth, since they didn't go up, they went down. So I just always looked like I was frowning. I aged myself in those 6 months like 30 years. I'm back to normal now, but I'm going to show you some pictures. And this is just your sign to be cautious, because my injector was also very rude and in denial that he messed me up, even though I had tons of proof. Look at my face. But yeah.
aesthetic nurse practitioner here, and let's talk about what's going on in this before and after. Here we have before Botox, and here we have after Botox. This is a frontalis medius ptosis. Basically what that means is the frontalis muscle has too much Botox, so it's falling downward. It's too heavy. If too many units are placed in the medial portion of the frontalis muscle and not enough in the lateral portion, you'll have this front droop of the muscle and then this spockness on the lateral portions of the eyebrow. It doesn't look normal. It doesn't look natural. So how do we fix it? You want to add more units to the lateral side to help relax the spocking brow. And ultimately, next time, do not put that many units in the medial portion of the frontalis muscle. Yeah. Just for reference, this is what a good before and after should look like after getting Botox in your frontalis muscle as well as your glabella. Follow and like for more.
Okay, literally goodbye. I got botched. No, but for real. What are we noticing here? What are we noticing here? This is what I do, okay? Oh, hey. This eye is like closed and puffy. My eye's like twitching and it can't, like it's not opening all the way. Oh! You see that? What the fuck is that? The fuck is good. And it feels like heavy. Like I feel like I'm legally blind. Like I cannot see jack. And I feel like this eye's like closed. Like I'm like sleeping.
So a lot of people know that I get Botox for my migraines. And going into it, they told me that a droopy eyelid is a side effect. But nobody told me that it was going to be this bad, or that it was only 1% of people get it. And after doing multiple different research outlets, I have learned this can last for over 6 weeks. And it's usually the provider's fault. They inject it where they need to for my migraines, and it's usually right in my forehead, and they put it over too far and it affects the muscle that holds my eyelid up. So now here I am, my one eye is working overtime. I struggle with driving, I struggle every day at work, and I can't do anything about it.
So the reason I make this video is I am kind of like wondering if anyone else has experienced the same things I've experienced. So I had Botox done, and the first time I had issues biting a sandwich within a week. Oh, I went back to my neurologist because that's who did it. I got it for migraines, and I told them, and they said, well, sometimes it happens. I had it done again, and then it was even worse.
Oh, gosh.
Fast forward a year. I have not had it since because I couldn't eat, or like brushing my teeth was a problem. My teeth moved. I had excruciating pain in my wisdom tooth. Now I had a pinched nerve 2 weeks ago. All in the areas related to where my Botox was. When I smile, the left-hand side of my face doesn't do what the other side does. This has been a year.
Oh.
What do we think I do? Do I
sue?
What? Help me. Ideas, suggestions, medical TikTok, Botox talk land. Where are you? My eyebrows still look good, but it's the jaw for me. Oh, and P.S. I still have migraines. Thanks for asking.
Oh, gosh.
Hi. We're going to talk about my Botox. Or my Dysport, whatever. Same thing. Okay, so let me relax my face. Okay, so as you see, my brows are like sitting evenly on my dome. This brow's thicker than this brow always because sisters, not twins. But I use a lot of expression in my forehead, and so when I talk to people, I'm like, and look how spocky this one is compared to the other one. So it's like just right here, she missed or I moved. Love my injector. She's the best. Not talking shit about her. Like, this happens. But I was crying in my bathroom and crying, went to my bathroom to get a Kleenex to blow my nose and noticed myself in the mirror and look at this one.
That one is sharper than the other one.
That's scary.
Not really, but yeah.
So I just had my quarterly appointment with my neurologist to get my Botox injections for my chronic daily persistent headache that I've had for 4 years. That's why my forehead is a little lumpy and a little bloody. The Botox injections have definitely helped. They have brought my headache down from a 7-8 to a 5-6. But 5-6 is still pretty debilitating for me, and there's still a lot that I can't do because of my headache and associated neurological symptoms. So on top of the Botox, we also try other migraine medications to couple it with, and I've tried so many. I've tried Emgality, Ajovy, Nurtec most recently, and they haven't made a difference. And so today he gave me a drug called Qulipta.
How long
so
are
I'll
you
be trying that for the next
though?
couple weeks to see if it makes a difference. So if you have any experience with it, do let me know. I'm back home now, but I figured I would share also that the Botox is covered by insurance for me. But in order to get it covered by insurance, you have to meet certain criteria. So you have to have at least 15 headache days a month. Like I said, mine is constant, so I have 30 headache days a month. And you have to have failed all first-line treatments. First-line treatments include things like propranolol, amitriptyline, nortriptyline, Topamax, all of the cheaper headache medications, essentially. So I tried all of those in year 1, and they made absolutely no difference whatsoever. So we moved on to the big guns after that.
I don't think I'll ever stop getting Botox for my headache. It has seriously changed my life, and I don't really know what I would do with it. My opinion literally doesn't matter, but in my opinion, I think this is better than medication. At least for me, it is.
No headaches, and I look cute. My injector literally said I don't really need it aesthetically. So I get it in my masseter and the center of my forehead. I would either get a headache or a migraine every single day, so this has seriously helped me so much.
It lasts about 6 months for me. After the 6 months are up, I literally slowly feel dizzy and headaches again.
God bless Botox and my injector for making my everyday life simpler.
I swear, if I see a comment that says, "Oh my goodness, you guys are so lucky your Botox is covered by medical insurance," don't leave the part out where people are in chronic pain, chronic migraine, okay? Let's not leave that, because I've seen some comments under these videos and people are just surfing on top of the chronic migraine situation and just going on to you're getting free Botox. I don't think people that have chronic pain are even thinking of, oh, it's a free Botox. I mean, it is a plus to some people if that's what they were looking for to begin with, but I think they just want their chronic pain gone. Bottom line, Botox might sound like an easy fix for migraines, but there's a reason it comes with a long list of warning signs, okay? And if it spreads beyond the injection site, you could end up with side effects that are way worse than the migraine you were trying to treat in the first place. So before jumping on the Botox bandwagon, do your research, talk to a doctor, like I said, who's going to be honest about the risk and make sure it's the right move for you. See you guys next time.